So the last few days we've been involved with a conference related to really the work of the gospel in North Africa, and it's been a good conference. It wasn't exactly what we expected. A lot more expats and really a lot of displaced nationals. So they're nationals, but they're living abroad, supporting the work in their home country. But we expected it to be a lot more national based, but it's really been profitable. It's been really good to network with people, to hear what's going on, speak to people that have been in countries for 10 to 20 years, and then others who are new believers or people that are just trying to get in to different areas. It's been exciting to be in this part of the world during the Tunisian situation, right after the Tunisians sort of rose up against their government, and to track the uprisings in Egypt along with people from this part of the world. It's been interesting to hear their perspectives and just see the excitement when they talk about freedom, and recognize that for their entire lives they've grown up in a very fearful situation. And we got that pretty good dose of that in this last meeting. We're now in the Middle East part, and we just had a session on kind of getting a perspective of why the believers in the Middle East are afraid, or really not even just believers, why the citizens of most of the North African Middle East countries are living with this intense fear and even distrust of one another, even Christians that just can't bring themselves to trust anyone because of all the deception and all the spying. They're afraid of their government, they're afraid of families, and we heard lots of stories how the governments will profile you and cause trouble with everything from permits and getting passports to telling neighbors that you're either a criminal or a spy or a Christian, and you lose housing, you lose privileges, you lose jobs, rejection by family, and then of course beatings and imprisonment and even worse. And so I think it was great for me just to hear people from the area talk personally, and to watch just the fear even in their eyes as they're telling it, and others who are afraid to talk about what country they're from openly, even in this context, because they're programmed not to reveal that they really do know the Lord, or that they're working for an underground church or whatever. So that I think is going to be great for me personally. It's great for light bearers to gain some further perspective, and it's always very encouraging to hear what's going on with the churches, and it's great to see nationals talk about standing firm and even paying the price of martyrdom if necessary for their faith. I've enjoyed some time with some national believers to hear their story of how they've come to Christ, and it's super encouraging to see what's going on. And there's a lot of hope. There's a lot of hope, even as we see these political changes. There's a lot of hope that this would open up a lot of doors for the gospel, and that Christians would have an identity within their own country. They're really not even citizens. They're not people, if you will, in their culture. And so with some of these uprisings, Tunisia and Egypt in particular, the Christians in both those countries are expressing just an excitement that they can be free enough to stand tall as a Christian and have the same rights as their fellow brothers, and be able to share more openly and see the gospel go forth. So it's been a good trip, and we're looking forward to the rest of the time.